and it's usually a double tap pass to try and find the ball in the middle as we get this grand final underway. I wonder, Alan, are we going to see more of those attempts down the line with the lofted cutbacks?
I believe so. Crackheber is known to play down the wings. I myself have came up against him in qualifiers, and he's a player that, of course, as you said, likes to attack down the wings. He's very talented at that. You could definitely tell that he feels really comfortable attacking down the wings. He also keeps a lot of ball possession. As Mike was saying earlier, he likes to basically lure his opponent to go to sleep in a way by keeping ball possession and then waiting for the opponent to make a mistake to then counter. So George is going to have to be mindful of that. On the other side of things, George is a great attacking player himself. You know, he's fourth right now in North America for a reason. So this championship right here is going to be amazing.
I feel like Adamu's got a point to prove as well in this game, but at the moment there is that lofted ball, almost manages to wiggle its way through. But George, after a disappointing Friday where he came so close to representing the US national team for E-Nations, losing in that grand final, he has a chance to make up for it here by winning North America's fourth qualifier. Joksan out of the tournament after winning 3 in a row. And it is the perfect opportunity now for George to finally break that curse and not lose a, was it, fourth grand final, third grand final in a row? He's certainly been very close several times.
Yeah, certainly he has been very, very close. I mean, this qualifier can... Oh, great chance here, Mbappe.
Oh, and it's great chance, but it's also going to be Kyle Walker at fault again. It always seems to be that man giving away penalties. But it was a very dangerous sliding tackle. And now George Adamu could take the lead from the spot, which he will. It's calm, and it's down the middle from Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes getting things started in this grand finale. George Adamu with that lead. I mean, in the first time that these guys played today, because this is a rematch, Adamu won. And the goals that he scored were quite interesting goals, right? He hit the post on one of them and got the rebound. There were also moments where Eber made a tackle and the ball went back to Adamu. However, though, of course, Adamu created his own luck. He got into that position to then get those rebounds. So we'll have to see what happens here. Let's see if Eber can work on his game and learn from what happened in that first time they played each other.
Adamu with the lead. And I'm sure he would like to learn from that previous game, even though he did win. It was always very close and there was always a goal in it. If he could get a 2-goal cushion, then maybe we'll see Adamu a little bit more comfortable, and this could potentially be the chance. Mbappe receives the ball to Neymar now, tries to directional nutmeg / bridge around the man. And unfortunately will go out of play, but you can see the intent from Adamu to try and really go at Crackheber in the early stages of this game, not allowing him the chance to kind of think about anything. It's all fast attacks. But Crackheber has done well to deal with the second flow of it.
That is what Adamu is really good at, attacking you in really fast manners. The first goal that was scored, right? Adamu hit Crackheber with a directional nutmeg inside the box. And honestly, if Eber wouldn't have slid tackle there, I feel like Adamu still would have scored a goal. Unfortunately, he was brought down for Crackheber. Caused the penalty kick. The good thing about it, though, is that Walker only received the yellow, not a red.
Yep, we saw Walker make a sliding tackle outside the box yesterday and receive a red for it. So I'm sure Onset will be interested about that one. Onset and penalties just seems to be something that comes up very often in this tournament, as Bruno Fernandes, the man who did score that penalty for Adamu, on the ball, just having a little merry dance on the edge of the box, now plays it through to Mbappe. Nice little attempt at a lofted through ball to Renato Sanchez, but doesn't quite work out.
There's a reason why these players are using that lofted pass. The way you execute that lofted pass is you just basically double tap either the normal pass button or the through ball pass button, and instead of playing it on the ground, the player lofts it up to the intended target, and it's super effective, especially inside the box. It just basically hits the ball over the defender's legs. A pass with the one tap that wouldn't go through would go through with the double tap. So it's very important to incorporate that in your game.
That's why we saw Eber doing it so much in his previous games. I'm sure we'll see more of it from him in this game as well. But it's Adamu who has been demonstrating it a bit more as Mbappe strides forward. Nice fake drag back, finds Cristiano Ronaldo. There's the directional nutmeg around. Still always holding on to the ball, shrugging off James, but that is just a normal cutback. Only goes as far as Kulusevski though. Shifts the ball from left to right, finds Neymar now, tries to go for the through ball. Crackheber holds on.
Reece James holding it down for Crackheber right now. Honestly, if it was any other defender of the game, I'm not sure if they would have blocked that Ronaldo after that directional nutmeg. I myself thought Adamu was about to score that second goal. Very big defensive play from Crackheber and his Reece James. That Reece James has proven to be so good. He has all the correct attributes for a center back. That pace, the defending, the physical, the height. Really good play from him.
Doing the job as he has done all tournament long, Reece James. For everyone who's been using him, which is pretty much everyone in the tournament. Hard to avoid a player of his caliber. And now Crackheber though, in the last moments of this first half, he has scored a lot of his goals this tournament in added on time. So maybe this could be another one as we get closer to the 45th minute. He's just holding on to the ball so he can have the last attack and get that free attack of the half. Ronaldo though just gives it away, and that last attack actually is going to go in favor of George Adamu if he's quick enough. Might have one added on minute, or it might just be 45. Looks like it's just going to be George holding on to the ball for that half-time whistle, not going to take any risks. And it's a 1-0 lead for Adamu. Just the one shot throughout the entirety of the game. We've not seen Crackheber been able to get into the dangerous areas that he was able to in previous games.
It has certainly been a cagey affair. That one shot on target for George did go into the back of the net. I feel like George, though, has created more clear-cut attacking opportunities. He was penetrating the box of Eber with that directional nutmeg. For those of you guys that don't know how to execute that skill move, you hold L1, R1, and then flick the right stick in the direction that you want to flick in. Very effective skill move. But yeah, right now, I mean, it's been a very slow game, Dan. These guys know that so much is on the line. This game means so much for both players. I'm telling you, the storylines for both of these competitors. If Crackheber wins, he's going to be the first Mexican player to win a FIFA 21 qualifier grand final. And especially for Essentials Gaming, his organization, they've been knocking at the door. Essentials Gaming area was the closest one, but he went down to Crew Gustavo in a pinch shootout on the Xbox side of things. And Adamu, if he wins, it's going to be a sweet taste of victory, something that he's been knocking at the door, finishing second place in 2 tournaments. I believe he had a 4th place finish in 1 tournament as well. Just so close. So it's going to be awesome to see who lifts the trophy today.
It's going to mean a lot for whoever wins, that's for sure. At the moment, it's Adamu in the ascendancy, and of course he has the advantage in this grand final. Just has to win this best of 2, whereas Crackheber has to win this one and another one if he's able to get the victory here. It's Kulusevski looking to maybe find a second for George Adamu. Fernandez to Mbappe, gets past one, and oh, what on earth's happened there? The ball's just got away from him, and that was a chance at a second, but the animation just was a bit off.
Oh man, George really close to get that second goal. Eber on the counter attack right here, holding it down, waiting for his players to catch up with him. I do want to point out though, Joksan is now officially the Mexican. Oh, Eber with the nice play right there. He nearly got a shot off there, but I want to point out really quick, okay, Joksan barely got a citizenship to Mexico. So he, you know, has won. Technically, a Mexican has already won a qualifier, but someone that currently lives in Mexico hasn't. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Technicalities, that's what matters, Alan. And a very good spot and very good memory, of course, as now Mbappe tries to do what he can to get round Reece James. Not going to work out, though. Kulusevski making that run on that left-hand side for Crackheber again. He's going to try and find him here, which he does. But what do you do from here? Fake shot. Only as far as Cancelo, but will be a corner. We haven't seen too many goals, and we haven't seen too many direct corners in this tournament. There's been a lot of short corners being taken. Deal with defenders being cracked out of their mind. You aren't going to take the risk of trying to get the ball headed out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. You have to play your corners smart. I don't know if you call what happened there. Very unlucky from Crackheber giving up ball possession. Offside call. It went off. Oh, George Adamu with the second here, potentially.
Maybe again. Maybe a thrice. No, Cancelo denies, and it's going to go out for a corner on the other way, and it's going to be a pause because Adamu, a little bit of frustration there. Some kind words, maybe not so kind to himself, I feel, as he has to just watch on, as it seems like time and time again, he gets so close, but then something doesn't go his way.
Yes, for sure. But it's so funny what happened in the prior possession of Eber, the way he was dispossessed with the offside call. He tried to make a pass and it went off of the buttocks of Rud Hullet himself. A very unlucky turnover there. I'm pretty sure you guys seen it, but I want to see something here. Crackheber has been using the 4-2-3-1, and I don't think he has switched out of it. He feels really confident with it. The only thing he does, instead of switching formations, he just switches player instructions. Maybe George forces him to change formations. We know that George has different formations in his gameplay. He likes to use the 4-4-2, the 4-1-2-2 narrow. Is this onside? Onside.
I wasn't expecting to hear the word buttocks, to be honest, today, but there it is. There's your buzzwords. If anyone's playing Cast a Bingo at home and they had buttocks on their list, there you go. Alan has managed to cross that one off for you. As now Adamu in the 69th minute, quite appropriately, is moving forward, but Crackheber will regain possession and needs to find a burst of energy here to get back into this game. It is, of course, still the first leg. I'm sure he would like to go in at least tied, as here's Lucas. He was the hero in earlier games, finds Ronaldo on the turn, but James is there! A second attempt for Mbappe. It's slightly fortunate, but Crackheber will take it. And he's got his equalizer with Kylian Mbappe.
And Crackheber finding that equalizer with that second attempt. The first attempt, I'm surprised that we didn't see a first attempt. That attacking player didn't shoot the ball. I thought it was going to go in from there, but fortunately for Eber, he had a player waiting for that rebound to just slide it into the back of the net. Very, very big goal for Eber right there. Maybe Eber was taking a little too long to decide to shoot the ball from there. Who knows? He needs to be a little quicker. You got to be quicker in these stages. There could be external factors affecting him. Maybe, who knows? Maybe his controller gave off out of battery. Who knows? But a big goal right there for Crackheber.
But that's a lot of excuses to be making. Control the battery. That's really digging deep for excuses there, Alan. But maybe a chance here for Crackheber. It's denied by Adamu. And what we need to see, I feel, from George is just him not to get too frustrated. There's been a lot of chances for him that haven't really gone his way in this game. Visually, he has been showing that he hasn't really been enjoying those chances. And it's very easy to lose your head in a game of FIFA. And if he goes behind here, I'm a little bit worried for his mental status. Now Rashford is onside, stops up, heel to heel, plays it across with that vintage double tap pass from Crackheber. Still has the ball. Lucas goes down, no penalty. Still possession though. Pull it, drag back. Ball rolls across, now plays it out wide yet again to Rashford. Can he get that double tap pass? No, he can't. Cancelo will push the man over. It goes out for a corner. I was worried then, Alan, that maybe the referee was pointing to the spot. This time it's whipped in, but it's going to be cleared, and Mendy has possession.
Oh, and he gets the ball. Dispossessed by Bruno Fernandes. Hullet.
Maybe still a chance for Crackheber. Adamu not out of the woods just yet. Bruno Fernandes back to Hullet. It's all Crackheber in the late stages of this game, and he's now just slowing it down and being a little bit patient with his attack. There's the player lock. Cancelo intercepts.
Rare sight there. The player lock not working for Eber. If there's a player that really uses the brand new player lock feature that was added this FIFA 21, it is Eber. I remember watching his live stream whenever FIFA first came out back in December, January. He just continuously was practicing with the player lock, and to see him here at his first event utilizing it perfectly, very effectively. He scored plenty of goals today off of that player lock. It's just really awesome. It just goes to show that if you put that time on the training ground, that you can do some great things and learn some great things. But at the end of this first leg, if the ref doesn't blow the whistle here, Lucas, 1-1.
1-1 indeed, and the referee did allow that passage of play to go, and I think George Adamu was quite surprised by that, but nothing to separate these two. A very interesting first leg. A lot of weird opportunities that went amiss. A couple of lucky bounces, a couple of unlucky bounces as well. A couple of penalty shouts, Alan. But in the end, it means we go into the second leg with no difference between the two. Who do you think that favours more? Do you feel like George will benefit from this, or do you feel like the later goal from Crackheber and getting back into the game will benefit his mental?
I feel like it can benefit Crackheber a lot more because George took the lead here. He got brought down and then he scored the penalty kick. And being up in this first series, knowing that all you have to do is just win this best of 2 aggregate and you'll be the champion, that feels really good. So for him to lose that lead, that taste of glory for a second, is going to feel really bad. But on the other hand, the other side of things, Eber is going to feel really, really nice to get that equalizer. It's going to bring some hope into his game after he scored this goal right here. As you can see, he did shoot the ball, but it goes off of James and he does get the rebound. I thought that Neymar didn't get the shot off. But this goal right here definitely is going to help Eber's confidence boost a whole lot. And just to hopefully try to get another goal to take the lead and send this to a bracket reset.
Yeah, bracket reset is what we've seen quite a lot throughout these North American qualifiers, but usually it's because Joksan's in the lower bracket and he's been making a steaming run, but he was eliminated earlier, of course, and unfortunately means he won't get those 4 in a row that we were maybe thinking about. These are some tweets that are coming in, though, and quite rightly, people are supporting Crackheber Alan because he has had the whole community behind him today.
He really has been. As Ulabari was saying earlier, the Dali Nation, saludos a Dali Nation. They are a big family, a big group. It's really awesome to see the Mexican continent just get together and just help one another, support, just showing a lot of love to each other. It's really awesome to see. They definitely are a very strong community, and they definitely are backing Essentials Gaming and Crackheber here today.
Well, we've got 1 leg left for Crackheber to try and reset this bracket. If George Adamu wins after these 90 minutes, then he will be our champion of the North American qualifier number 4. However, Crackheber, of course, will want to take it to another best of 2. And there still can be extra time and penalties in this first matchup as well. So there is a chance that Adamu, even if it goes all the way, he could win on penalties still. But you can see both players, you know, going with their either superstitions or whether it's praying to whatever religion it may be that they follow. Everyone wants to get that edge. No matter what it is, Alan, you will follow whoever you can follow.
For sure, it's just important to have that confidence mentality. It just definitely goes a long ways. It can bring you titles. It can bring you peace, whatever you may be searching. And I mean, it's just very important to have that mental edge in especially these very, very stressful type moments. I'm telling you, both of these competitors are feeling that pressure. They want to do their family right, their fans right, their supporters right, both Crackheber and Adamu. So let's see what happens in this second leg.
Dali Nation, rise up. Crackheber needs your support right now. And George Adamu, he's the one who has the advantage coming from that upper bracket. We're underway in this second leg of this grand final. Adamu will be attacking from right to left. Crackheber in that familiar yellow from left to right. And it's Crackheber with the ball right now. Does give it away, though, to Neymar Jr., who was tracking back and doing some defensive work for George Adamu. There's the player lock switch. Maybe learning something or trying to implement something that Crackheber's been doing so much. Kulusevski finds Cristiano Ronaldo, just punches it forward away from the man a little bit there. Not far enough, though. Bruno Fernandes digging deep there with the sliding tackles, but now he's going to be slightly out of position. And Mbappe going to try and take advantage of this. There's the Cricketer cancels. Everything that is in the arsenal, and there is going to be that lofted through ball that you were talking about earlier, Alan. And it's enough to give Cristiano Ronaldo the space to smash it home.
And there you go, George Adamu finding that go-ahead goal once again. The utilization of that lofted double tap pass. I'm telling you, it's so effective. We just seen it there with Adamu. Let's see if George can now handle this lead. Let's see how well he develops this game going forward. We did hear from him in his previous interview that that's something about his game that he's been struggling with all year. He has the lead, but he just seems to not be able to hold it, especially when it goes from the 70 minute and above. Right here, Crackheber, great chance, but well defended.
And that was almost a prime example of gaining the lead, then very quickly almost throwing it away. I feel like George needs a 2-goal cushion, and that will just allow him to be a little bit more calm about his approach to the game. But until then, Crackheber will try and take advantage of maybe a little bit of defensive nerves from George Adamu. However, George is still going to be very scary going forward. And he's just going to shift the play across now from right to left. Make sure he creates as much width as possible and not allow any of this pressure that Crackheber is applying to work out for him. He'll be patient in his build-up, and quite rightly too. He's got time on his side. Bruno Fernandes on this left side of the pitch, plays it inside to Cristiano Ronaldo. Forward now to Mbappe. Scoop turns away from the man, gets away with a directional nutmeg, and the finish to boot. 3-1. There's your 2-goal cushion, George Adamu.
Adamu, Timothy Mbappe, doubling that lead, increasing it. A directional nutmeg into open space for Mbappe. He's not going to miss from there. That right there is going to take a lot of stress. It's going to relieve Adamu a whole lot, knowing that he has that 2-goal cushion. He needs to be mindful, though, because there's still a lot to play here. Crackheber is most likely going to apply pressure if needed, especially in the second half. And I feel like this game is just going to come down to how well George Adamu manages this game. If he lets the nerves get to him. He's been talking about this. Now he's at the biggest stage in a grand final. He knows that he has had to work on his game management. Ooh. So we'll have to see what George Adamu does with the lead.
Again, another worrying sign, though. Crackheber almost had a shot at goal there. It was from a small mistake of Adamu just putting the ball out for a corner rather than clearing his lines. And that's something that he has to just keep an eye on. A lot of these very silly mistakes that don't look like much can end up in goals, or at least lead to a goal. Now it's George Adamu who is the one going forward. Sanchez finds Fernandes. Space on the right-hand side, but he cuts inside with Mbappe instead. Croqueta cancel. Scoop turns away. Directional nutmeg. All of the pieces are there, but the puzzle has not been completed. Crackheber now can look to counter-attack.
Great defense there. Ooh, a very... what a through ball.
It's interesting. It's almost worked as well. It's slightly unorthodox, and the keeper was nowhere near it. If that was on target, that was probably going in.
A very unusual through ball that nearly worked out there for Crackheber. We usually see those through balls on the ground, on the floor, not the air, but it nearly paid off there for Eber. Unfortunately, it went wide. Eber's just gonna have to try to come and attack Adamu in just all sorts of different angles and whatnot. The second goal, this next goal is gonna be very, very big. It's gonna be game-changing goal.
George Adamu, I'm sure, thinking about those finals that he's lost and how close he is now to winning this one and calling himself a champion of North America. Especially with only one qualifier left to play, it's very good to put yourself on that list so that when it gets to playoffs, people start to fear your name and they know that you can win championships. Fernandes now, Croqueta cancel. Again, just to shift that ball away from the man. Mbappe with all the ball rolls and scoop turns, but there's Reece James doing what Reece James does best.
Well done for Reece James right there. As you said, that is completely right. The better you do in tournaments, the more respect is given to your name. Your opponents are probably gonna respect you on the pitch a lot more. They may play a little different. They may be a little bit more nervous to come up against you. There's also a lot of other things that come, obviously, with winning grand championships, so many prizes, and it's just something that both of these competitors have been working for. And to realize that your work, your training has paid off, it's a great feeling.
Maybe one last chance before halftime. No, the referee will put the whistle to his mouth. And there's only 45 minutes left then in this grand final. And George Adamu is closer and closer to tasting that victory. All he has to do, Alan, is very simple. It's just hold on to this lead, but it's a lot simpler than it sounds when you're going up against someone like Crackheber, who I imagine will shift the tempo very soon.
Exactly. I expect to see some changes from Crackheber. I mean, he's talking to someone right there, as you can see. And it's just not anyone. It's teammates that also have competed at this North American regionals. His teammates are some of the best North American players on the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. So that can definitely benefit you a whole lot. Something that I want to point out is that George has been doing really good at defending Eber down the wings. Eber just definitely loves to attack down the wings, and George has been stopping him from doing that. So maybe this time we see Crackheber attack in a different form, a different way. I just kind of want to see if Adamu manages this game well, because like I said, it is just something that he's been struggling with. He recognizes it, and he knows that he's 45 minutes away from winning his first major tournament on FIFA 21.
Second half underway, and potentially the last half of FIFA that we will see this tournament if George Adamu can continue to hold on to this lead. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Alan. One thing that Crackheber has been doing so well this tournament is down the wing, cut back with those lofted balls. But Adamu has been covering that second man rather than attacking the man on the ball on the wing. Instead, he's been covering a lot of those passes. So even if the lofted through ball does come through, or the lofted pass comes through, George is there to pick up the pieces. And he's found a lot of success with it, but only 2-goal deficit for Crackheber to try and overturn. This is definitely doable for him, as now Hullet plays it to Bruno Fernandes into CR7. Patiently wandering towards goal. No one pressuring him just yet. Fake shot into the real shot, and Reece James denies.
Great defensive play there. Eber trying to get that shot off, but his attacking player is in the way of Eber's center back. Let's see now. George is in the lead. He knows that he doesn't have to go for it. He doesn't need to score any more goals. He's up. So now he's going to probably keep the ball a little bit more, utilize ball possession, and just take advantage of every single possession that he gets.
Crackheber will know that, and will know that retrieving the ball is going to be somewhat difficult. Has to take advantage of every possession that is presented to him. One goal can completely change the shape of this game for Crackheber. If he's only 1 goal behind, suddenly the nerves will start to kick in for Adamu. He's spoken about how he struggles to keep composed and has been trying to work on that side of his game. And the perfect way for Crackheber to try and expose that is to push him to the boundary and really just try and get back into this game as soon as possible, so there's more time for those nerves to kick in.
And George has a nice defensive line. Oh, can it get broken down here?
Might be. Neymar, drag back, shifts it onto the right foot, and it's a perfect finish. George Adamu just giving a little bit too much space to Neymar there. We can see how effective the drag back has become in the recent meta of FIFA 21. Right at the start of FIFA 21, I remember, Alan, people were saying, nah, the drag back's bad, we need to get it out of the game. It doesn't work as well as FIFA 20, but it has worked very well in today's tournament.
It does, in fact, still work. Very, very good. In that goal, Eber, I thought he was dribbling a little too much. I'm surprised he didn't get the shot off the first time. He was wide open to shoot it to the left side of the goal, but then he took his time, and then he hit George with that drag back, found an even more open space to take that shot from, finding that second goal. Now he's only down by 1. What a game that we have here. There's still plenty of time to come back from. We all know how difficult it is to come up against constant pressure, and you know, if Eber doesn't find a goal soon, he's going to go constant pressure on George.
And it's going to be a lot of pressure on George as well. Now with just the goal lead, the pause has been cued by George Adamu too, which would suggest he's not happy with something. So Nightwatch has said that queuing a pause shows that you're vulnerable. And maybe we're going to see Crackheber take advantage of this. Ronaldo shifts it onto his right foot. What a save by Schmeichel. I think it was offside anyway, but still an important save. And it will be a chance for a breather for both players, but mainly for George Adamu, who very much on the back foot right now.
For sure. Being up by 1 goal in the second half, honestly, it may seem obviously like a great position, but against a player like Crackheber, it is a very tough position. It's going to make you work even harder to win the game. Like I said, Eber is now going to apply a lot of pressure, and it's going to be so interesting to see how well George handles and maintains his cool, his calm under the pressure of Crackheber, especially knowing that George knows in the back of his head that his game management hasn't been the best. He probably hasn't won these championships yet because of the game management. He's had the lead several times in other games, and he just wasn't able to close it out with the lead. So let's see if he does it right now. This game has a lot of room for potential upsets, heartbreaks, and of course, on the other hand, euphoria.
Well, when we look at that result on Friday, when we did lose in the grand final to represent USA in the E-Nations, it was a penalty loss of all things, which is enough to crush even the biggest and bravest of men. And Adamu wants to fight back, wants to bounce back here in this grand final and show that he can win championships. 73 minutes on the clock, not long left for Crackheber. And that's why we're seeing Adamu just holding on to the ball. Diatta now approaching, goes for the directional nutmeg, but Walker stops him in his tracks immediately and will give possession back to Crackheber here.
Diatta has been a player that a lot of these guys have been using. That what if plus, he did receive an upgrade, and that Diatta offers a lot of quick, pacey dribbling, 4-star, 4-star. He's a very, very good player. We are seeing here the 4-1-4-1 being used for New York Red Bulls George Adamu. That midfield is crowded. Fernandez, Sanchez, and Atal. That Yusuf Atalfo birthday is such a diverse player. He can defend. He can attack. You can legit use him anywhere on the pitch, right? And it's going to be very difficult for Eber to break down that midfield. Maybe he's going to be forced to play down the wing, but George, as we were saying, has been covering the wings very well.
A chance for a breather for George Adamu. So close now. I'm sure that he's just going to be thinking about being the champion. But it's very easy for those thoughts to suddenly turn negative of, well, what if I throw this one away? What happens if this goes to extra time? What happens if this goes to penalties? What happens if this suddenly gets a bracket reset? You have to eliminate all of those negative thoughts. Focus on the positives. You are still ahead in this game. There is only 14 minutes left before added on time. And all you have to do is just keep the ball away from your opponent. It's easier said than done, but in FIFA 21, you can hold on to the ball for insane periods of time if you do it correctly.
You can, but as you said, it is easier said than done. Especially when your opponent is getting prepared with these tactics like Crackheber. He's going to tell his team to push up, give forward. He's going to give that last push. He needs to pressure George Adamu, because if he doesn't, George is just going to keep the ball. So this game, it's about to get action-packed. There's going to be bodies flying all over the pitch. The ball is going to be moving to both sides. It's just going to be a matter of who takes advantage of that goal-scoring opportunity when it does arise.
Well, if you want to support either player in Twitch chat, the time is now to do it, because they need all of the belief, all of the prayers that you can send them, especially Crackheber right now, who's still behind, but does have possession from this free kick. All the players getting forward. Just needs to ensure that he doesn't make any mistakes and give Adamu possession too easily here. Shifts it down to that left-hand side. Here's Rashford. Nice scoop turn away from the man. It only goes as far as Renato Sanchez wins the ball back, and now here's the long over-the-top through ball to Diatta. And he's got some pace about him, holds on to it, manages to muscle off the defender. And the throw-in goes to Crackheber.
Questionable call from the referee. Big, ooh, no, if you're Eber, you cannot be giving the ball up like that. Those are valuable ball possessions. You need those possessions to get back into this game.
George Adamu so close, this could be the goal, but oh, what's happened there? Maybe slightly overdid it. He knows that could have been the tournament there for him with Cristiano Ronaldo, but has to stay focused. Wins the ball back, but gives it away again. Pace starting to be injected into this game as Crackheber marches forward with Bruno Fernandes. It's a fantastic through ball to Mbappe. What can he do from this right-hand side? Ball roll into the scoop turn. Players streaming forward in yellow shirts. Bruno back to Mbappe, back to Bruno. Pullet now joining the mix. Adamu desperately player switching as Lucas plays it to Ronaldo. Can he do anything special? No, he can't. Denied by Adamu, and that could be a huge tackle in the grand scheme of things.
Big counter-attack opportunity here. 4 more minutes on the clock. George is moments away from winning this trophy, and he does have an opportunity here. Can he seal the deal?
Just has to chip it, but he doesn't. He goes for the ball roll. He saw Van der Sar off his line, and he slightly fluffed it again. That's 2 chances Adamu has had to win this game, and Crackheber will be so relieved that he's still in this game, even with just moments left. What a game this has been. Alan, where is this going? Do you think this is potentially going extra time, or do you think George Adamu has done enough?
Oh, it's going to be interesting. I feel like George has done enough. He has a corner kick right now. He's going to be able to just hold the ball in the corner, which I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing. It's just a matter if Crackheber gets that last possession, that last opportunity to score. George had the game there. He could have chipped the keeper. Easier said than done, but look, Atal gets the ball here. He's probably going to go all the way back. He's trying to go to the corner. Thankfully, he does retain ball possession.
Needs to hold on to the ball, does George Adamu. As we get closer to that 90th minute, every second counts, so he's just holding on to this throw-in. Needs to make sure he finds a man, though, which he does in a New York Red Bulls top. We're into the 90th minute now. Ball goes out for a corner. How much added on time is there going to be for George Adamu? It's just the 1 minute. Surely he is close enough now. Just has to keep this ball in the corner. Gives away possession, but I think it's going to be too late. Tries to slide down. It's an over-the-top through ball. It doesn't matter. 3 finals we've seen Adamu lose, but in his 4th final, he can finally break that curse, and you can see what it means to him. He is your North America Qualifier #4 champion, and almost tears in the eyes, but look at that. What a moment for George Adamu.
What a moment indeed. George Adamu from the New York Red Bulls is your North American Qualifier #4 champion. Look at the relief that his body, his face just shows. He can finally breathe knowing that he finally got a title under his belt this FIFA 21 after being so close tournament after tournament. He points to the skies. He's going to be very, very happy about that one.
He looks up to the heavens and he bathes in the glory that is being a champion. Quite right too, after all of the attempts and how close he's been as of late. But there is your champion on screen. We are going to go for a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have analysis of that last game and we'll have a chat with George Adamu as himself. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.